So what is about to follow is a series of short videos that were released to social media about my song, Who Is Your King? And because of social media, we wanted to have kind of shorter thoughts and release several videos, but we decided to munge them all together to kind of give one united idea of what I'm trying to say with the song. So you'll notice that I'm wearing different clothes in the videos. I got different guitars and different backgrounds and that type of thing. So it'll look a little disjointed, but hopefully we'll be able to get the thought across. Oh. Well, I'm really excited to be talking about the first song that I'm going to be releasing in my attempt to release 18 songs over the next 18 months. And this song is called Who Is Your King? So this will be the first in a series of short videos that'll be talking about the song. So how do you tell if a king is a good king? Is it how much money they have? Is it how great their palace is? Is it how many victories they've won? Well, you know, it might be a little of all those things, but I think that the greatest way to tell if a king is good is how happy his people are. Are they happy? Are they joyful? Do they have purposeful lives? That's how you tell if a kingdom is really a good kingdom and that the king is a good king. The first years after Jesus' death and resurrection, there was so many people becoming Christians. And I think one of the keys is that the Christians were displaying a joy and a happiness that a lot of people didn't have in those times. And they would say, "What do you got? What's going on?" And they would want that same thing. And the song puts it this way: they would want to know, who is your king? Please listen to the song. There's links below, and give me your thoughts, your insights, your questions, and let's continue this conversation. All right, goodbye for now.
Walking the streets of Jerusalem with a peace somehow visible. Circumstances not altered, yet their joy undeniable. All in one accord, untrained men and women, speaking clearly of their Lord. Those who saw them wondered. Who is your king? He must be so majestic. Who is your king? He must really care.
The first verse and chorus of Who Is Your King? For the most part, these Christians back then, they were simple, uneducated, lower class people, and God used them to change the world. Nothing really changed in their situations. They were, they didn't become rich. They didn't all of a sudden, become highly educated. They were still under the Roman authority, Roman rule at that time. But there were so many that were seeing them and wanting to join their ranks. And as the song says, they had a joy and a peace that was undeniable. They had newfound sense of freedom and purpose, and they had a unity and a love for one another that was really displayed out in the open. So the world longed for that then, and it longs for it now. As Paul said, they had Christ in them, the hope of glory, and it was visible, it was noticeable. They knew they had a great king. So more to come on that, and hope to see you back soon.
Paul and Silas beaten, thrown into prison. They were praying and singing to the God of earth and heaven. A mighty shaking, prison doors open. The garden all asked, what must I do to be saved? Believe our King is the answer they gave. Then he asked, who is your King? And they said, Christ our King, gladly showing mercy. He is our King, setting captives free, heaven and earth, yielding at his power. Jesus, he is our King.
That was verse 2 of my song, Who is Your King? And that whole story can be read in Acts 16. But the prisoners and the prison guard, they were in total awe. How could Paul and Silas be so joyful in that situation that they were in? And how could they have a God so powerful? Who was this God that was so powerful that prison doors were open and chains were broken? And the song puts it this way. The guard wanted to know, who was Paul and Silas's king? And they wanted to know, who was this king they seemed to love so much? So I'm going to title the name of this post, That Is Not What This Song Is About. And a lot of people, when they hear the title of the song, Who Is Your King, say, that is a good question. And I think what they're really thinking when they hear that title, Who Is Your King, is who do you serve? Do you serve Jesus? Do you serve the world? Do you serve money, self, or something else? And there's a lot of sermons and books and articles about that specific topic. But that's not what this song is about. So I'm going to come back with more talking about the song, continuing to talk about the song. But I encourage you to take another listen to the song. Now, I'm not trying to get you to click on the song so I get paid. Just so you know, I get between 0 cents and 0.003 cents per play. So it's not a good financial plan. But anyway, I hope that this and my other songs are encouraging and thought-provoking to all of us. I'll be releasing the next song in the month soon, but in the next few days, there'll be more to come on Who is Your King.
What will cause the world again to ask about our King? It's not just the things we say, not just the songs we sing. They need to see unity, one body under one great head, a love for one another, just as Jesus said, and they will beg to know, beg to know. Who is your King? He must be so majestic. Who is your King? He must really care. Who is this one that you seem to love so much? We want to know, who is your King?
That was the bridge to the song, Who is Your King? And as I've been saying, those first century Christians, they were displaying and reflecting the fact that Christ was in them, the hope of glory. And the people around them, they were more than just curious about why they were different. They were desperate. They were desperate for hope. And they saw people that had something. Let's call that something hope. A hope that was visible. And it's the same thing that people need today. They need to see a people who have hope. They need to see a people who have a God who loves them, a God who cares for them, a God who desires a relationship with them, a God who is not far away, but is a very present reality, a God who is good. And although it might not be a modern way of saying things, but the theme of this song says, the world needs to see a king with a kingdom full of people who reflect his goodness, a people who make them want to say and ask the question, who is your king? This video is part 2 of my talk on the bridge of the song Who Is Your King? And I want to focus on one line in particular. And it's this: they need to see unity, one body under one great head, a love for one another, just as Jesus said. This might be the most important and relevant line in the whole song. Now, I'm not just talking about us as individuals being more Christ-like. That is something we should all desire. But there's plenty of people talking about that. I'm talking about something a little bit bigger here. God's intention was to display his Son through a body that's made up of many parts, all working together in unity under the control of the great head, Jesus Christ. Not just individuals, not individual churches, but us all. Somehow over the years, we, the body of Christ, have become very fragmented. Who is your king is meant to be an encouragement for the church to lay aside our differences, the things that separate us, and make our emphasis Jesus Christ himself, allowing him to be central and supreme. For the body to unite and reflect a king who is good. Some of the songs that are going to be coming up in the next couple of months are going to talk about this more, and I hope you stick with me.